So today I'm going to work on installing this center console that I bought from Walmart and replacing the original center console in my first gen CRV. The original console is really not all that functional. The cup holders are terrible. So I'm going to try to get this in there. It's got 4 cup holders. It's got a compartment to hold stuff here. It's got this compartment as well as this, and also these 2 cup holders. And basically what I'm going to go ahead and do, I am going to take out the center console here. Sorry about the lighting, guys. And this center console is pretty simple to get out, it seems like. It's got 2, as you can see there, it's got a couple bolts right there, and then it's got some bolts in the back here that secure to the floor. So I'm going to just take out this entire assembly and then secure the new one to the floor. All right, so in order to take out this table here, and again, I apologize for the lighting, I'm going to take out these 4 12mm bolts that are here, and there's one on the other side of this. Can't really see it from this angle. And what I did is these bolts are actually pretty tight, pretty stuck. So I got some of this WD-40 Specialist penetrating lubricant and hit those bolts with this, and they came right off. So they're loose right now. I'm just going to go ahead and continue taking them off, and once this table is out, I'll go ahead and continue with this video. So I have the 4 bolts out that holds this assembly onto the floor of the car. There's a 12mm bolt here, one here, one here, and then there's one on the other side of this that's a little tricky to get to. I had to go ahead and slide the seat all the way forward in order to get to this. For a quick minute there, I thought I was actually going to have to take the seat out in order to get to it, but I was able to get to it. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out of here. There we go. And this whole assembly is going to come out. So here are the 4 bolts. There's the other bolt and the bolt holes that are in the floor. And now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to set the center console into this space, try to fit it, see where it's going to seat the best, because this isn't a real even floor here. Got a little hump over on this side towards the back a little bit here, right here. And I'm just going to try to use these bolts here to go ahead and secure it to the floor. So let me go ahead and get the center console, and we'll see if we can get this to work. So I'm just fitting this right now. As you can see, it's actually a pretty tight fit to put the center console in. And on the side here where the emergency brake is, and again, this lighting's terrible and I do apologize, guys, but it's very, very tight. Now you can still get to the emergency brake, it works. But it is going to be a little snug there. And as you can see, this bracket right here is part of the emergency brake, and it kind of fits over that bracket, but I don't see that causing any issues. So anyways, I'm going to play with the fit a little bit more. Right now, I like it. It's going to be much more functional than that center table. And I'm going to go ahead, once I get it fitted to where I like it, I'm going to go ahead and drill in the holes in the bottom of this. The bottom of this console and attach it to the floor, and it'll be the same holes where the original center console went to. So let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll go ahead and shoot the finished product. So I'm about to install this in my CRV, and my original plan was just to put screws through the bottom of this right into the original bolt holes for the original center console that was there. But if you flip this over, you'll notice that there's a little bit of a space. It's about a 1-inch gap between the actual bottom of the console, okay, and the edge of this. There's a gap between here and here. And the screws, for the original screws for the center console they're like 3/4 of an inch. They're not very long at all. And so I was trying to figure out, again, guys, I am not good at this. I am not a handyman in any way, shape, or form. So if it looks goofy, it's just because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm just trying to mod this the best I can. But what I'm actually going to do is, I got this piece of wood here, and I'm actually going to mount this onto the floor of the CRV. And these are the holes where these original screws are going to go right into the floor, into the original bolt holes for the original center console. And then what I'll do is once I install this piece of wood into the CRV, I'm just going to put this over it, and then I can drill, like it's 1 inch, and I can just secure this to any portion of that piece of wood, and it'll be good. So I'm going to go ahead and start that process, but I just wanted to kind of show you my goofy do-it-yourself solution to get this in there. Okay, so I have installed this wood piece into the floor of my CRV, and I'm going to go ahead and try to set the center console over it. This was a little bit of a pain to get into the car, to be quite frank. So I thought the bolts that the CRV originally used were 5/16, and they weren't. So these are 5/16, and they kind of fit. I'm probably ruining the threads, to be quite frank. But I only put 2 in because I only had 2 that would go in there. But again, guys, I'm not a handy person. I'm just trying to, use what I have to get this into the car. So I'm going to go ahead and fit the console over it, and we'll see how this all works out. So as you can see, I have set it down into the CRV here, and that's what it kind of looks like. And I'm just going to set some screws through the bottom of this into the wood piece that I put onto the floor. One of the things to notice about this, though, and it's not really that big a deal, but I'll put this back. There's a space underneath here. This does not sit flush on the floor just because of the way the floor is. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Once it's secured down, it's not really going to move. But anyways, that's what it looks like before I put some screws into it. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll look at the finished product. Okay, guys, this is the finished product right here. And if you look down in here, you can see where I put some screws into the bottom of this to secure it, and it's definitely secure. Putting that wood piece down was a good way to go ahead and do this. It's tight. This door right here it's a little sticky just because it's tight, but that'll be fine. This passenger chair, when I move it back and forth, it does rub a little bit, but other than that, I'm really happy with how that turned out. This is so much more functional than the original center console. It has 2 cup holders in the back for the passengers, and these ones up front that actually work. So yeah, if I look let's look at the back part of it. Right here, you can see through here, like, it is really tight. It is right up against the emergency brake, and it kind of sits on top of this stuff here. There's a little room underneath here. I'm not too concerned about that, but overall I am really happy with how this turned out. So I hope this is helpful to you guys.